finishing the last video, and so I'm still may be teary-eyed, but I'm going to this is gonna be one of the lighthearted videos I mentioned earlier. My history with Star Wars. I've tried filming this bad boy, I think now 9 times. So I am going to try it again because I want to share more about me, and a big part of me is that is the fandoms that I'm a part of, from cutesy Barbies and Bratz to Star Wars to Has Been Hotel to there's a lot of good content out there, and I have been a part of it's this type of mentality of fandoms and being excited about an idea that someone else has made has been a huge part of my life, and I think it's why I am big on my stories and trying to see if I could make something out of them. So, what I'm currently on, you could read that, Star Wars. That's been technically my first fandom I've ever been a part of. It was the one that my parents grew up with, is the one that I was basically raised into, and I have plot points like the first one that I've ever seen was Star Wars 1, like movie, like initial one, not the beginning one. And my mom always loved the, she says that her favorite fight scene of all time has always been the Darth Maul fight scene, but that it wasn't necessarily her favorite movie. And it is really cool. It is a cool scene. It's great to watch. I keep wanting to go because it's hard to hold up a phone. But uh so I feel like Star Wars is a big one, and that it's very much have had a case of constant followers and growing followers, because it's kind of been like a generational thing that got passed on, and new generations would come in and pick it up and add more to this world of Star Wars. And still, I mean, it's still very much happening, but it's not the same as, I guess, what it used to be. And I guess when I first started off, of course I thought the fight scenes were so cool. I think it's because of Star Wars that I'm big on action, that I base a lot of my stories around violence, and most of it right now is MMA, but I do plan on getting like a whole scene of different stuff. And I think I mentioned in here Star Wars in parentheses nuggets. That's because I never had channel growing up of any type. So when shows were airing, and like Clone Wars, I was not able to see it, but what little I did see, I loved so much, and I plan on picking up on the series. Moving out to the suburbs, in a whole different state led to learning about people that also had a similar passion for Star Wars, or more so than me, because I mean, I do love Star Wars, but it wasn't my first fandom or my first. It's something I grew up with, but it wasn't my big thing. It was more my brother's thing, and I still remember how he always had his toys littered all over the floor, and it made it hard to enjoy the series myself because I've always wanted to be the Jedi, but there were not a lot of girls, and if they were like they were there for 2 seconds and then got killed. Like that's not kind of hard to relate to a person that just exists and dies. Um, Clone Wars. Later in, my favorite character of all time, that still is my favorite of all time, is Ahsoka. I think I tried mentioning this earlier that even though we didn't have channel later on in life, my brother was able to get season one, like get physical DVD discs of it, and I fell in love with the idea of Ahsoka because when I was a teen, if I felt like if I were in her shoes, I would very much relate to her. That I would have been I would have been cocky and a little full of myself, even in a war zone, because I was trained to be a Jedi. I was one of the few chosen to be a Jedi, which I mean, it's a really cool concept to think about. And so I got to see through the internet when I got access to it. I got access to it in my teens, I think it was. Um, just falling in love with Ahsoka because I got to see through people talking about her, how much they loved, how much they loved her, and seeing her grow as a character from a bratty, cocky child to a war veteran, basically was very cool. And concepts like May the 4th was very cool. Seeing through the internet, like fan theories, basically concepts that helped flesh out the world more. It's very exciting. And there's one time where I'm sorry, I'm very tired. I am mentally exhausted. But there's another time where I was trying to film this when I had more energy, and I literally just saw Disney buy Star Wars, and I threw the list. I threw my phone. I was like, get this off. No, yeah. That's because I grew up with the series, and I've seen the magic that I've grown with the magic in my youth, from the animated Clone Wars to the snippets of the 3D version of Clone Wars to watching the movies consistently, whether it's me watching with the family or my brothers watching and I walked in on a scene, or I decided to actually pick up the movie myself and try to go through them all. And then in turn, family members came to me, and um, so when Disney bought it, in the beginning, of course, I was excited. I was thinking to myself, they're a big company that will be able to help pave a new generation. And since it's a big company, since it's a business, they'll basically get new blood coming in constantly. But people that are big in the fandom will be able to come in and add more and bring more enjoyment. And as I wrote down in here, new movies and my anger towards it. Um, just at the time when they were coming out, it's very much a case of I was disappointed and enraged because in my eyes Finn had so much potential and they completely butchered his character. And Rey, uh she also had potential too in my eyes, but I felt like there's a lot of things that just kept happening that they needed to explain. And in the first movie, like, kept insinuating that she would that the reason why she was able to be so skilled was because she had parents that taught her stuff, so on and so forth. And they completely fumbled it. There's millions of videos talking about that entire thing. The fandom as a collective basically was just enraged by that whole scenario. And when I was watching the series, I very much thought that Kylo Ren and Rey were siblings. So when people started shipping them together and the series made them become a ship, to me it was weird because it felt like uh, felt like this felt like the original series all over again in my eyes. I was like, no, no. And basically where I am now with the series is with the newer shows. There's good stuff. Of course, I'm gonna have high expectations because I was raised on this crap that I love so much. So it won't just meet every single goal that I have in my mind. And because certain series, of course, my heart wants, if I had the chance to, like, if I was able to be in the storyboard room and create a movie myself, I feel like I'd go all in. There's so much to pull from that would just be cool, like a little nod to the fandom that I could pull from, but I'm not. I might tell you about a fanfic I basically made about bettering the series, but that's not this video. This video is my history with Star Wars, and where I'm currently at now is it's there. It has been a huge part of my life, so it will always be with me, but I am not actively excited to go watch the latest show. Even the only one that got my hopes up is Ahsoka, and I am too scared to even watch that one. I don't know it. So I might get more involved with this fandom itself. I might share my fanfic ideas that I have of the series, of either just bettering the movies or just ideas I had since I was little, because I've been creating stories for a long time, and of course Star Wars is a big inspiration. So thanks for listening, for knowing about now one fandom that I've been a part of, one that's influenced me greatly, and that I'm still technically a part of, but I'm not huge in. Like, I used to be huge, but not so much anymore. So I'll let you go. Thank you for watching. Bye.